a lot of people have asked me over the last week, can you give me some advice on how to get my offer accepted? Because right now we're in a tough market. There's low inventory, there's a lot of buyers, there's a lot of competition. Everybody knows that. Everybody in this office is probably going through the same hoops. I came up with some advice that I can give you. Perhaps it's not going to be the only things that you can do, but I can give you some ideas, and hopefully they may be able to help you. My idea number one is to call the listing agent before you present the offer. As a matter of fact, I would suggest that you call the listing agent even before you show the property, not only to check availability on the property, because this is what we do, and I say we do it wrong. We call the listing agent and say, hey, your property on 123 Main Street, is it available? Yeah, it's available. Okay, great, I'm going to show it tomorrow. And that's the end of the conversation. I think you need to take it a little bit further and say, hey, is the property on 123 Main Street available? Yes, it is available. I have a potential buyer for the property. The buyer is an FHA buyer. He's bringing 3.5% down payment. He has $10,000 in the bank. His FICO score is 660. And if we make an offer at market value or below market value or above market value, what are the chances we can get this property? Talk to the listing agent and get their feedback on that. Once you talk to the listing agent, he may say, you know what, don't waste your time. We're not going to accept any FHA offers. We have a conventional offer on the table right now, and I'm holding it as a backup because the offer is too low or something like that. Start this conversation with the listing agent, and hopefully you can get some feedback or you can get your offer accepted right over the phone. Now, the complaint that most people have is the listing agent is not calling me back. You call the listing agent and they don't call you back. Have you had that experience, right? I can tell you this by listening to messages both in the mortgage and the real estate. One thing that most listing agents want is to double the transaction. Now, I can pick up the difference within the message. I can pick up the difference between a potential buyer and a real estate agent. The real estate agent message goes like this. Hey, my name is RONY VELASQUEZ, and I'm calling on 123 Main Street. I want to know availability. Can you please call me back? And that's the message that literally a realtor will leave, right? Now, a potential buyer will not leave a message like that. A potential buyer will go something like this. Yeah, my name is Maria, and I'm calling on property 123 Main Street. Can you please call me back? And that's it, right? Now, if you have two messages, and one is from a realtor and one is from a potential buyer, who would you call back first, right? No, I'm not saying to lie or anything, but what I'm saying is you're leaving too much detailed messages. Leave the most basic message on their voicemail and say, my name is Angie. I want to know about property 123 Main Street. Can you please call me back? And that's it. Leave your phone number and that's it. Don't leave anything else. They will potentially think that it's a buyer calling on their property, and they'll probably have more chances of them returning your phone call than if they think that you're a real estate agent. Would you agree with me on that? Okay, now the next one. Make it simple. The next one is make it simple. Guys, I receive contracts every day, of course, in mortgage financing, and some of those contracts and offers and counter offers are so complicated. I have to go back and I'm like, what? And I go here and I'm like, this one doesn't match with this one here. It's like they're going back in circles. Try to make your offers as simple as possible. Use common sense English language. I know we have words nobody knows how to decipher, like contingencies and things like that. Try to use the most common sense English when you prepare your offers. Try to make it as simple as possible. I read lines, for example, that says, according to market value of the property, we are offering a potential sales price of $325,000. Just put price $325,000. Everybody understand that. You don't have to extend it and make it complicated to make your point across. Okay, so try to make it as simple as possible. Everybody's busy. Escrow officers are busy. Loan officers are busy. Realtors are busy. Nobody has the time to sit down and try to decipher what it says on the contract if you make it too complicated. So make it simple, make it short, and that's what I want to say. Number 4, spell it out. Spell it out comes to the net of what the seller is going to receive. This is an advice that I got from an REO agent. We sent an offer with Mona, and we were asking for home inspection and termite and this and that. And the listing agent just called me and said, Ronnie, I don't have time to read your offer. Can you just put me on the letterhead how much my seller is going to net? That's all I want to know. Because if I have to grab my calculator and try to calculate how much my seller is going to net on this transaction, forget it. I'm just going to put your offer away. I'm going to get another offer. So what I'm trying to say by this is that if you're asking for concessions, if you're asking for seller closing costs, if you're asking for termite, home warranty, etc., in the cover page that you're sending with your offer, you may want to just disclose that and say, This is the purchase price, $350,000. This is how much we're asking for home warranty, $500. This is how much for termite, $500. This is how much for seller concession, $3,000. This is the net of the offer. And I'm telling you right now, if you just put that in the cover page, you're going to make their life so much easier. They're going to love you because they don't have to go through the entire contract to try to figure out how much they're going to net. You have to remember that they're comparing offers. You have 5, 6, 7 offers. If you have 7 offers and they all look the same, and I got one that actually spells out how much I'm going to net, I'm going to read this one first and put the other ones aside. Financing package. When you're sending the financing package for your buyer, make sure that you include everything that it needs to include. Your financing package from your lender has to include the pre-approval letter, number 1, the FICO sheet, number 2, with the FICO scores, DU findings, number 3, and hopefully even a copy of a bank statement and a paycheck stub, so at least they know that they have the funds, and yes, that they're employed and they're not just making it up. They're not making up the employment. All of those things need to be in the package, and you should request that from your lender. If I'm your lender, then request it from me. I'll be more than happy to provide whatever you ask me to provide. So please include those things in the financing package. And number 6 is recruit your lender's help. And this is what I mean by that. Once you're ready to submit the offer, shoot your lender. If it's me, shoot me an email and say, hey, Ronnie, I'm ready to submit an offer on my borrower, Hernandez, on this property address, 123 Main Street. The listing agent's name is Robert, and his phone number is this. Can you give him a call? And I will be more than happy to give him a call and say, hey, Robert, my name is Ronnie Velasquez. You are about to receive an offer from Mr. Hernandez on your property on 123 Main Street. And I just got to tell you, this buyer is a fantastic buyer. And I'll start mentioning whatever I need to mention. Their FICO score is 726. They have $10,000 in the bank. They're being fully pre-qualified. I have all their documentation. We got everything ready to go. And as soon as you open escrow, we're going to order appraisal the second day of opening of escrow. And we're going to submit your package right away. And we're going to start working on your package right away, etc. Give them some confidence. Give them some confidence, because what is more important for most listing agents right now is the buyer going to be able to close the escrow. That is what is most important for everybody right now. Is the buyer going to be able to close escrow based on the financing that they got? Recruit your lender's help. Have them call them and explain the situation to them. And number 7 is, if the listing agent is a local listing agent, find out when they're in the office, and instead of sending the offers through email, go and present the offer yourself. Present the offer, spend 5 minutes with them and say, hey, can you review the offer? Can you tell me if there's anything in here that we can improve to make this offer better, more acceptable? Do you want me to change something? You want me to revise something? You want me to take something away? I have my buyers on a speed dial right now. If you want me to increase it $5,000 or whatever, I'll give them a call and see what they say, and so we can arrange it and have that negotiation done at that moment. If they're local, of course, some of them are not local, but if they're local, please do something like that. Like I said, this may not be all of the answers for getting your offers accepted, but at least it's going to get you a step further. What I'm trying to do is get you a step further, try to get you a little bit closer to get to the escrow table, right? Thank you very much